Welcome, Teacher Michelle here, and it's time for another group time. This week, we are talking about it being a new month. It's January. January is the first month of the year. Welcome, and this morning we are going to talk about what the weather is outside. So right now at your house, you can just look outside. Go to your window, take a minute to just look and see what you observe, what you hear. Do you see sunshine or do you see rain? Do you see clouds? Do you hear the wind or feel the wind? There are ways that we use our senses to observe what's happening outside, and that tells us the weather. So see what it looks like it's doing at your house. And then come back. And we're going to welcome each other. We're going to do number 1, clap a friend's name. And we're going to do number 2, read the story, Froggy Gets Dressed. And number 3, we're going to play hippity hoppity how many. And at the end, we're going to talk about what you brought to wear, what you might wear outside, because that's what we talked about in our group time. So for clap a friend's name, I'm going to move this. This is our story. I'll move this. Let's bring Coda out so we can sing to Coda, because sometimes it's fun when we practice singing to someone and there's no one here but me. So we'll bring Coda in. Hi, Coda. Say hi, everyone. Hi. So we would like to sing good morning and welcome to you, Coda. Can you sit right here and we'll sing to you? He said yes. So I'm going to have him sit there. And I am going to show you. So if you got your kit this week, you found these road letters in it. And remember, you got a car in your kit before. And these are for fun to practice your letter or your mom or dad's letter, your grandma's letter, anybody in your family. You can practice all your letters, your pets, and you can drive the letter. Zoom, zoom, zoom. You can trace the letter. You can say the letter. What letter is this? K, K for Coda. And if you look up here in the corner, this has a thing that starts the same as K. Key begins with K. And Coda also begins with K. Coda, your name is K-O-D-A. Let's sing together. A 1, a 2, a 1, 2, 3. Can you clap a friend's name with me? Name with me, name with me. Can you clap a friend's name with me? Let's try Coda. 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 So how many times did I clap? Let's count and really pay attention this time. Coda. Did you hear 2? I'm going to use my fingers and I'm going to say it this time. Ready? Coda. Coda. Those are the 2 sounds that are in Coda's name. Coda, whoops. Thank you for letting us sing to you, Coda. We found out that your name has 2 sounds. Coda. Should we try my name? My name begins with an M. Michelle. 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 Now, remember, it's fun when you hear new words to see how many sounds they have. So I'm going to find one more item so we can practice this idea. What is this? So some people call it a phone. This is my phone. But the whole word that this is called is a telephone. Telephone. Telephone is a long word. Let's try to hear how many sounds are in telephone. Are you ready? That works. Telephone. Oh, try clapping with me. When you say it, clap the sounds. Ready? We'll do it together. Telephone. Telephone. I hear 3 sounds. Do you? Good job. So if ever you or your grown-up comes upon a new word, you can check how many sounds it is by saying it slowly and seeing how many parts. Good job. The next thing we're going to do, number 2, is read the story Froggy Gets Dressed. Do you get dressed in the morning? When you wake up, you do your morning routine and you put on your clothes. Maybe you have some help from your grown-ups, but mostly we're old enough that we're learning how to put things on by ourselves. And that is a super good self-help skill to practice and get help when you need it, but practicing is good. Well, Froggy's really good at getting dressed, and we're going to learn just how good he is. This story is called, remember the title, Froggy Gets Dressed. Oh, should we clap Froggy's name? Let's do it. Froggy. Do you hear the sounds? Froggy. Yes. This is written by Jonathan London and illustrated by Frank Reimkewitz. Those are the people that wrote and drew the pictures for this book. This is one of my favorite books. So in our Zoom today, I talked to somebody who wore some clothing, and I had this kind of a pattern. It looks like it's a plaid pattern. We talked about plaid. So we're noticing all different things about our clothes, and I just noticed this pattern in the title. It's called plaid. Froggy Gets Dressed. What do you think Froggy's going to get dressed for? Do you think he's going to get dressed for bed? Do you think he's going to get dressed for a party? Do you think he's going to get dressed for a soccer game? I don't know. Let's find out. Well, it was cold and Froggy woke up and he looked out the window and he saw the weather. The weather was snow, snow, he's saying. I want to play in the snow. Do you see the snow? So he looked out the window just like I asked you to, and he saw what it was doing outside. It was snowing. Do you like snow? Put your hand on your head if you like snow. I love snow. I can't wait for it to snow. I sure hope it snows. Go back to sleep, said his mother. Don't you know, frogs are supposed to sleep all winter. We wake up when the snow melts. Look at Froggy's face. Does he look like he's very happy about what his mom just said? I don't think so either. She says, go back to bed. We're sleeping through the winter. We wake up in spring. And he's like, no way. I want to go play in the snow. What do you think happens next? Well, Mom turns back over and Froggy says, no, no, no. I'm awake. I want to go out and play in the snow. So he gets out of bed and he decides to get dressed. Froggy puts on his socks, zoop. He pulls on his boots, and he has 2, zoop, zoop. He puts on his hat, zat. He ties on his scarf, zoop. And he tugged on his mittens, 1, 2, zum, zum. And he flopped outside into the snow. Plop, 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 plop. Does he look warm enough? Then he hears, Froggy, called his mother. What? Yelled Froggy. Did you forget to put something on? Well, Froggy looks down and he says, whoops, I forgot my pants. Yikes. So he flops back inside, flop, 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 and he tugs off his mittens, 1, 2, and he unties his scarf, whoop, and he takes off his hat, flop, and he pulls off both of his boots, whoop, whoop, and he left his socks on, and then he slipped on some purple pants. And then he started all over again. Pulled on his boots, zup, zup, put on his hat, zat, tied on his scarf, zwit, and he tugged on his mittens, zum, zum, and he flopped back outside in the snow. Flop, flop, flop. This is one of my favorite things about the snow, all the prints that are in the snow. I sure hope it snows. It's supposed to snow in the winter. What do you think this thing is? What's happening out here? What are these animals making, do you think? What do you make when you roll balls in the snow? Then he hears, Froggy. What? He answers. Did you forget to put something on? Well, he looks down again and he says, whoops, I forgot my shirt. And your coat, cried his mother. Well, Froggy flops back inside, flop, flop, flop. He takes off his mittens, zum, zum. He unties his scarf, swoop, takes off his hat, zat. He leaves his pants on, his boots on, and his socks on because he doesn't want to take those off again. So he leaves them on and he puts on his shirt and he buttons all the buttons. Zut, zut, zut. 3 buttons. Zut, zut, zut. And then he snapped on his coat, snap, and he puts on his hat, zut, and he ties up his scarf, zwoop, tugs on his mittens, zum, zum, and he flops back outside into the snow. Flop, flop, flop. Oh, here's that pattern again. Remember, I called it plaid. That's plaid. Froggy, called his mother. What? He said. Did you forget to put something on? Look at his face. He's like, I think I have it all. He looked down at his body and he went through and talked to himself in his head. He did some self-talk and he's looked down. He's like, I have my mittens. I have my scarf. I have my coat. I have my shirt. I have my pants. I have my boots. I have my socks. And he reached up. Yep, I have my hat. Uh-oh. He forgot to put his pants back on again. Oh, that wasn't it. His mother said, you forgot your underwear. Oh, no. Whoops. Froggy turned a little red in the face. That would be embarrassing. And he flopped back inside, flop, 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 tucked off his mittens, zum, zum. He took off his scarf, whoop, he undid his hat, or unsnapped his coat, whoop, took off his shirt, hat, unzipped his pants, pulled off his boots, took off his socks, because you have to take it all off to put your underwear on, because that's really the first thing you should put on. But he left his hat on and he put on his long underwear. Whew. Then he started to pull on one sock, whoop. He's pulled on one boot, whoop. And he put on one mitten, zum. And oh my goodness, look at Froggy. He says, I'm too tired. There's his mom, and there he is. So he climbed back into bed and went back to sleep. Good night, Froggy. That's the end. So let's do a quick hippity hop. How many? Because I need to move. Do you need to move? I'm gonna do hippity hoppity, and then I'm gonna put up some fingers and you count them, and then we're gonna do a movement that many times. Are you ready? Hippity hoppity, how many? 1. Let's do 1 finger breath. So remember, or hand breath, sorry, it's called a hand breath. Hand breath is where you do a hand trace. So we're gonna do 1 whole one. We're gonna trace our whole hand. Are you ready? Remember, in and out. In and out with your breath. Not very fast. That was 1 whole hand breath. Okay. Hippity, hoppity, how many? Did you say 5? Let's check. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Yep, let's do 5. So I'm going to stand up and let's do 5 jumps. I'm going to touch my knees each time. You ready? 1, 2, 3, 5. Oh, that was so fun. Let's do it again. And this time I forgot to do and in the middle so that I give myself a break. Are you ready? 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and 5. That was easier to count and keep track, wasn't it? Whew, that got my blood going. Okay. So we read our story. We did hippity hoppity how many. And now I had asked everyone if they would bring something that they wear outside, like our Froggy story. And some people brought coats, and they brought coats, and we noticed what the features were. So I am going to talk about what I brought to wear outside. So this is something I wear outside when it's cold, but not too cold. Or when I'm going on a walk and I know I'm going to get a little bit warm and I don't want to be too hot. So it's like a coat or a jacket, but it doesn't have any sleeves. Do you know what this is called? If you said vest, you're correct. This is a vest, and it's puffy and warm. It's got soft, fuzzy stuff on the inside. So it is a winter clothing item or a cold weather clothing item. And this is a feature of my vest. It has one. Oh, did you hear it? We talked about these. This keeps your clothes together. It's called a zipper. I'm going to write that down. Coda, I'm going to move you over here. Can you sit right here? Thanks. So my vest has one zipper that goes up and down. One zipper that goes up and down. And then some coats only have a zipper. My coat has a zipper and something called snaps. So I'm going to count them. Listen each time I count them, you hear the sound. It makes a snap. Listen closely. Ready? 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and 5 and 6 and 7. Ooh, I'm nice and warm and cozy. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. I have 7 snaps. Now, one last thing that we talked about is noticing other features. So I'm noticing it has a feature called a pocket, and I have 1 and 2. I have 2 pockets for both of my hands. And I told my friends sometimes they have an inside pocket. So I'm just going to double check. I'm going to undo my snaps, zip, undo my zipper, and check inside. Nope. So I only have 2 pockets. So those are the features of my outdoor cold weather clothing. 1 zipper, 7 snaps, 2 pockets. And then the last thing we did was we looked at our tag. So sometimes you might have a tag here or a tag here. This tag tells you how to wash your clothes, because if you wear your clothes a lot, they might get dirty and you might want to be able to wash them. So this is your washing instructions. But that's a long one. We'll have to count that one another day. And this is the tag that tells me where I got my jacket, my vest. It's Old Navy, and it tells me what size it is. Sometimes it's a letter, sometimes it's a number. This one is a letter. It says SPP, which is small or petite. So this is a small vest. And those are the features of my outdoor clothing. Thank you for joining.